Afternoon, evening, and welcome to OP Digital Blueprint. I am surrounded by honoured guests today. We've got Divine Fonte and Mike Ellis, and of course Marty DeGamo, as well as my co-host Collins. So say hello, gentlemen.
Hello, everybody.
Hello, everyone.
Yeah.
We're going to get Mike. We do this every week when Mike comes on. We're going to get Mike to start us off because I'm sure he's got things to tell us, and we'll kind of chip in as we go along. So take it away, Mike.
Okay, Andy. No, thanks. We've got a good crowd here today, five. So I'll try and be short. But I've been thinking about a couple of things, and of course everything relates to ONPASSIVE. And one of the things that I've been thinking about is prosperity versus poverty. And with ONPASSIVE, we always have questions. Why? Why is this happening? Why are some people throughout the world prosperous and other people throughout the world live in poverty? And I want to start by saying that we're all pretty much the same. It doesn't matter where you come from. We all have the same aspirations, the same intelligence. We're pretty much the same people everywhere. And when I start to think about prosperity and poverty, I come into two concepts, and I'll go over these quickly because we've got a big panel today. But the two concepts kind of explain why there's a difference in different places in the world. And if you stick with me, I'll tie this into ONPASSIVE. And based on the things I've been listening to and the people I've been listening to, and I listen to some really, really smart people, and they've been talking about admiralty law and common law, civil law and common law. And when you start to think about those two types of systems, one system is from top down and the other system is from the bottom up. And when we start to talk about admiralty law or civil law, it's really from the top down. And what that means, once you understand that, you'll kind of understand maybe the situation you're in. When you talk about admiralty law, it really is the government dictating to the people all the rules, all the regulations, and they really do control everything that goes on in the society. And when you think about admiralty law, you start to understand that they regulate poverty. When you start to think about civil law, admiralty law, you start to understand that these individuals, they hate entrepreneurship. They don't want anybody getting ahead of anybody else. And really people in that particular type of situations, they either live in a soft tyranny or a hard tyranny. And it's really a horrible place to be. It is not where ONPASSIVE it is not where we want to be. And then we start to think about common law. And common law, it's natural law. You get your rights from God, and you get all the rights: life, liberty, the pursuit of happiness, all the good rights that each of us have. They come from God. And when you do that, it's not top to bottom, it's bottom to top. In other words, government is serving the people. And when you get in a situation like that, you actually release people to be able to live their dreams, use their skill sets, do the things they want to do to create the life they want to create. And really, when you think about common law, the government is only there to take care of disputes between people. And do that in a very good way that really benefits everybody. And from there, that's where law takes off. It really is about disputes between people. And once you get past those disputes, then you live your life in freedom. You get to do the things you want to do. And when you start to talk about those two types of systems, and I'll give you a quick example. If you look at where we're at, we're in Dubai, UAE. Okay. Now, 25 years ago, Dubai, if you looked at Dubai, all it was a desert. All it was sand. And the people in the UAE, they came in and said, listen, there has to be a better way than what we're doing to create prosperity and to create a system that gives people the freedom. And we're talking about business here, guys. This is business. And they said, listen, if we can do that, if we can release people, if we can let them use their entrepreneurial spirit, if we can just let them go and create a platform that allows them to do that, then it will be very, very successful. And what happened in Dubai, it really is unique. It really hasn't happened, I don't think, before in this short a period of time. Within 25 years, Dubai, the UAE, went from a desert to something that is hardly recognizable today. It is just absolutely phenomenal. And it is why Dubai today is really the hub, the financial hub of that part of the world. And when you start to think about ONPASSIVE, okay, why is ONPASSIVE in Dubai today? Freedom, liberty, very, very business friendly. And when you create the atmosphere that they've created in Dubai, now it's very conducive to business. That's why ONPASSIVE is there. And when you can do that, all of a sudden, you can actually start doing things that affect people's lives. And this is really where ONPASSIVE comes in and is really unique what Mr. Mufareh has done. ONPASSIVE, what do we do as a company? We come in, we find problems, we bring a solution to the table, and then we release it to the world. And the solutions that ONPASSIVE is bringing to the world, they are solutions that benefit everybody. It doesn't matter if you're a customer, it doesn't matter if you're an affiliate, it doesn't matter if you're a government, small, medium, large size business. All the solutions of ONPASSIVE, they bring solutions to those individuals that make their lives better. Because of this, I believe ONPASSIVE is a vehicle that can really unleash the entrepreneurial spirit, regardless of where you are, regardless of what system you're in. You know, if you look at the United States of America right now, we are more admiralty law than we are common law. We have more rules and regulations that try and keep people down rather than lift them up. But when you add ONPASSIVE to the picture, people have a way forward to come into ONPASSIVE and know that they have the ability over time to develop an income. And when you can start to develop an income and develop that financial freedom, all of a sudden, all kinds of avenues open up to you. And this is apropos to everybody in the world, regardless of what your government is doing. You have the ability to come into ONPASSIVE, find a way forward to create that financial independence that we're all searching. And it's a really, really funny thing. When you start to have prosperity, you start to have respect. And if you're in a country that doesn't have that prosperity, and there are a lot of them out there. If you look at Venezuela, if you look at Cuba, if you look at some of these other countries that haven't come to the conclusion that you need to release people rather than control people, they don't have the respect around the world. It's the same thing with individuals. All of a sudden, when you have financial freedom and you have prosperity, people who really didn't look at you at one time or the other, they look at you and they look at you with respect because of what's happened in your life. And this is so unique to ONPASSIVE. ONPASSIVE is bringing this to everybody that comes in and starts to participate with ONPASSIVE. I'll end with this, and then you guys can kick it around because I don't want to go too long here. Regardless of the gifts you have, if you don't have a platform where you can release those gifts, it really doesn't do anything. If I look at Marty, Dan, and I, we've been in business for about 12 years. All of us have our unique gifts, God-given gifts that we can use. But for 8 years that we worked together, it didn't matter what those gifts were because we did not have a platform to really let those grow and increase and bring prosperity into our lives. ONPASSIVE is the platform, and Marty talks about this a lot, excuse me. ONPASSIVE is the platform where you can bring the gifts you have, and all of a sudden, it is unlimited what you can and can't do. You can do anything within ONPASSIVE. You can take those gifts, you can use those gifts, and actually create the life you want. So ONPASSIVE is this unique thing that Mr. Mufareh has created. I still don't know how he did it. in the last 5 years. It really has been phenomenal. And we are a point in on passive today where I believe all those entrepreneurial spirits are going to be released into the world. And we're going to be able to do some really, really remarkable things. And as the prosperity grows, and when I talk about prosperity, I'm not talking about people coming in and just getting by. That's not what we're about. We're about prosperity. And when people come in and they have that prosperity, now the different avenues of where they can make a difference, where they can help individuals, where they can change societal things come into play. It's going to be a really, really fun thing to watch. But I think if you look at prosperity and poverty, if you look at the different systems throughout the world, there are systems out there, common law being one of them, and I think that's a gift from God, that will really, really promote people prospering, growing, and living the life they want to live. I'll leave it there for now, guys. You guys throw it around, but maybe that's a good place to start. Go ahead, Andy.
Yeah, thanks, Mike. That's brilliant. Divine, I want to come to you first because
Yeah.
I know that if I don't, you're never going to get a word in with the other guys. So what we're going to do, um, I I love the fact that as your brother likes to say, um, we are fine, but it goes much further than that. It goes across, as Mike has said, this is going to allow us to do many things for many others, as well as be able to assist anybody to build a second or a first income. So what are your thoughts? What do you want to see on passive do for you, your family, and what are you planning at the when it gets to that point?
Yes. First of all, I would like to say this because I mean, it's something that I think people don't really get a grasp of what to understand to be a founder in Unpassive. I think Marty has been talking about this for so many times, emphasizing and insisting, let people understand the opportunity that you have and how lucky we are to be as founder in Unpassive. Let's look at this from inception. There was nothing, absolutely nothing. It was just an idea. And all of a sudden, now fruition, we're seeing everything. We're using O Connect. We have O Major doing whatever we have the train station in Dubai. We have the Burj Khalifa. If you look at the ecosystem, I use O Mail all the time. I use O Connect as well. If you look at the ecosystem, and then you can actually imagine for yourself what is coming in our way. And for me, I walked into this journey without knowing anything. I'm not an IT person. My brother actually called me. I was in Cameroon. I was stuck in Cameroon during the lockdown. I went for 10 days. I ended up spending 6 months there. So because I couldn't come back, I was stuck. The borders were all shut. And he called me and he said, that was 2020. He called me and said, Divine, I want you to go and register. There is a company that I want you to go and register. You have to pay this certain amount of money. I didn't actually even think. I didn't even think about anything. I went straight, took my laptop, and I registered with it, and knowing what I was doing. When I came back to England, 2nd of September, and the first webinar I saw, that was it. I got sold. I got sold. And today, for any founder to be sitting here today and be part of this journey, you must have been actually selected by God to put in this position where you are at the moment. Because look at it this way, we have over 7 billion people on this planet Earth, and 1.4 million of us are actually on this journey. It has been a nerve wracking journey, of course. We know that. It's a good cause to be part of it. We enjoy the journey, nerve wracking, pain ups and downs and all that. But at the end of the day, when we get to that point where we are right now, we are about to go on the market. That's for sure. But this is what I keep telling people. Any founder actually that has been through this journey, to me, I keep talking to Collins. It to me, it's like you've been in a university, because what I've learned and I'm passive. Tell you, I don't think I've learned that when I was in uni. what I've learned in ONPASSIVE about the basic IT knowledge. I got it. Not only that, ONPASSIVE made me to understand my purpose on this planet Earth. That's for sure. At the beginning, to me, it was just like I wanted money to make money for myself, financial freedom, and time freedom. But now today, I've gone past that. I'm not thinking about that anymore. To me, that's done. What is in my mind, how I would impact lives. That's for me. That's as soon as everything around me, my family, they are sorted. What next? You
I
be
think
that
we're
legacy.
yeah, we're all in that kind of position where initially we only joined for the money because we never saw anything else, and like as you
Absolutely.
said, there was nothing to really grab hold of. But we all saw the vision, and a lot of others did. So the early birds
Absolutely.
have taken advantage of that, and as time's gone on, it's just gone from strength to strength, which is really exciting. So, Collins, what are your thoughts on this?
Mike, you just blow my mind. Thank you, Divine, for coming. Yeah,
You're
so
welcome.
you just blow my mind. You were talking about prosperity and poverty. When you were speaking, I was just like, wow, you just opened a well of information for me to really think about. And when I look at it, I say, okay, prosperity, what is really prosperity? How can people be prosper, especially in this world of today when 97% of the world population are really struggling? So sometimes when you work, you are just above the poverty line. The moment you lost your job, it's easy for you to become homeless. So how do you keep up so you don't drop? Is there any vehicle? Is there any tool out there that can keep you above, or just sometimes we are not even we don't even break even. Say keep you above the line. There is none. But ONPASSIVE came to do what? To even give us more where you don't even think about dropping. So that is the platform. So like Mike said, it is not about we come in and just get rich quick. No, that's not it. It's about giving a platform for business to strive. When business can strive on a platform, just imagine you have this big runway where plane can really land, and they are sure that if they land, nothing will happen. You know what? The pilot will be comfortable to land at any time because he knows that when I land, I will have a safe landing and safe takeoff. That is the platform of ONPASSIVE. Safe landing and safe takeoff, because it will really change a lot. Once you are in, you know that, all right, this is it. This is the place where I have all the tools to get me going. Look at businesses. We know most of the business, they are struggling out there because of what? Tools. We don't have the tools that can give them what they want. It is not there. One, they are very costly. Most of the company cannot afford most of it, because we are talking about digitalization of everything. The world is going more digital. We're not going back. There is no way the world can reverse to the old time. But how do you get tools that can support you? Most companies are really struggling with that. But Mr. Ashford look at it and say, you know what? How do we, like Mike said, poverty and prosperity? Most companies, sometimes they shut down and people go, just go bust because they don't have the tools. How do you give people what they want? Give them value, because Mr. Ashford talk about value. Give them value for affordable price. One of the kick in ONPASSIVE is about the affordability, because we know in our mind that the higher the value, the more costly it is when it comes to digital world. But Mr. I said, you know what? I can give this high value product make it very affordable for everyone to strive. That is where you can easily eradicate poverty, by giving people the platform where they can strive. The moment they look around and say, oh, you know what? I'm just spending not much to get this. Because the first thing, when you look at tools and services, most company, the first thing is, can the tool do what we want? Yes. How much is it? Most company, that's the tool, pricing and value. If the price is too much, forget it. They will turn to the next person and say, check that. Yes, it can do A, B, C, D, and the price is good. But Mr. Ashman Farah is giving a very high value product for affordable price. And the mindset is what? Let me do something. The idea of ONPASSIVE we already know is about poverty line, or we can say humanity. It's about humanity. Mr. I said, take humanity out of ONPASSIVE. He will not have even the zeal to continue with ONPASSIVE, because there is nothing for him. He built it to help businesses, and those who choose to come, you and I who choose to come, can be, you want to become an affiliate, it is there for you. Mike Ellis always preach this every time. You want to become an affiliate, so be it. You are here to make it. But 70% of those who will come into ONPASSIVE are not coming for the money. They are coming to use the tools and services to enhance their business. So that is the part where Ms. Ash is looking, said, how do we get these people in? Give them so much value for affordable price. The platform will be a landing space for all the business to come, and said, we now have the comfort, we have the comfortability, because that tool is giving us what we want. What will happen? Now we can enhance our business, make more money, give our employee pay rise, you know, and we can still make more because we have the assurance that there is something that is helping us, that is boosting our business. ONPASSIVE is the booster that will, you know, push everything up and make people affordable, make everything affordable and strive businesses. So that's it for me for now. We can't hear you, Andy.
There's me waffling away and I'm quiet as a mouse. That's a first, eh? Okay, so stop smiling, Marty. It wasn't the funny. So this is really interesting, because what we've got is we've got a video conferencing platform that the others that have 10,000 attendees cost us, or would cost $6,500 a month. And ours, obviously, we have a 10,000 attendees, and it's cost us 125 a month. But obviously, with this delay that we've had, so this is going to change the market, Marty, in a massive way. So, what are your thoughts on that?
Well, I have a lot of thoughts. Yeah, it took us off of the comparison. We've done something that where all the businesses, anything that we've ever purchased, an app, or if you're online, you need something, or a recorder, or autoresponder, whatever, all these things, when you come online, there's always a comparison when you look at them. And they name all the companies. This has this has this, and its numbers going up and down, and you pick the best one. Then you go to one that you heard from somebody else. But ONPASSIVE has built this new chart where the bottom of the chart is beyond the top of everybody else. So you're not even you're not in their playing field, which is a big plus. Obviously, you know, if you were 5% less, 7% less, had a couple more features, the audio is pretty good, the visuals a little better. Okay, you know, there's a competition thing. But when everything that I just mentioned is light years ahead of everyone else and growing daily, where does that put you? I mean, it's, you know, we found out the beauty of ONPASSIVE was great's not good enough. And a lot of companies, because of the way they were built, what can we build minimum cost and make the most amount of money? And that's worked for 100 years, 150 years, online 30 years, 40 years. But then ONPASSIVE comes along and goes, I want to build the best of the best. I want no nonsense. I don't want to trick people. I don't want any red tape. I don't want any, this is the best you can have. And then once you get in, they go, well, you know, you could even have even more if you added another $10. All the tricks and all the playing with people in ONPASSIVE, it doesn't happen. It's not there. So when you take the whole game, when you create your own game, with the same type of products, but light years ahead, you win. I mean, your only competition is you chasing yourself. The other day, we were talking about OConnect and asked me before. I said, don't think that's number one. Number one, we're working on now. So if number two is ONPASSIVE, OConnect, where's everybody else at? I don't even know where they're at. They're in competition for third, fourth, and fifth place. And that's a weird place to be. Another thing I wanted to jump into is everybody was talking about ONPASSIVE, what it is and what's the difference. ONPASSIVE is a platform that is unlimited in every aspect. Listen, it's the only platform that you can come on and everything about your life can be unlimited. You can have unlimited income. You can live an unlimited lifestyle. You can go to charity. You can do whatever you want to do. And here's the other one. Somebody said, well, what do you want when ONPASSIVE gets going? Well, because it's ONPASSIVE, what I want is the opportunity to change what I want. Because what I want right now in 2024, I may not want in 2025. It may not even be, I may even want to add and subtract and move around. That's ONPASSIVE. Because you'll find out once you open this mind of going back to when you were a little younger kid and the whole area was wide open, you dreamt about doing anything and you believed you could. As we got older, that was shut down through society and our lives and all that. But I think ONPASSIVE is, what do you want? Today, I want this. Next year, I want this. And I don't even have to give up what I had. That's unlimited. That's where, and a lot of people don't realize, could you imagine being the best at best at anything you want and all the heavy lifting's done by somebody else in this massive, massive company that someday I believe will be $1 trillion company says, we'll do all that. You shine, and we're going to split the income with you. I mean, that's absolutely absurd. It's absurd. And so for me, I've always compared, because that's what you did to get the best deal. That's what everybody does. I want this, I get this, 2 for $1. This is one, buy one, get one free. But when you're in a system or a company that has changed the rules, focusing on the people instead of focusing on shareholders or other people that are sharing the wealth, he said, no, let's try something new. Let's start from the bottom. The boss are the people that use the products, and let's make a platform for the crazy people out there that believe when they were younger and getting older, everything's possible if you can think of it. They have always said 2 biggest days in your life are when you were born and when you find out why you were born. ONPASSIVE gives you that option, because a lot of people, years on the planet might be 80, 90 years and they die. But I met a lot of people in their 70s, 80s, and 90s, and I know a lot of people that passed away that never lived. They had years here, but they never really did what they did. I've sat down with an older one and, man, I wish I'd have done this. I wish I could have done this. I wish I could have done that. I tell you, if you're 70 years old and you have 5 years left, and in those 5 years, you could do whatever you want to do, dream, do whatever you want to do, unlimited, it's worth your whole lifetime. It's worth a lifetime, because a lot of people never get any of that. Never. And with ONPASSIVE, the only thing is you have to tell people that wall you put up, it's not there. That's the hardest thing. Stop walking up to that gate. The gate's not there. You have fields and fields to go wherever you want, when you want to go. And you don't have to follow anybody. Everything in MLM is following somebody else. The guru says, follow me and I'll make you free, and all those stupid nursery rhymes. But the fact is, the only person you got to follow is you. And just dig back inside and say, what do I want to do? I want to do this. The platform will outrun you. You can't outrun it. You can't outthink it. You can't outuse it. Where else would you want to be? And the beauty of it is, the poor guy in Africa, the poor kid, the poor mother, they get the same opportunity I do. Because ONPASSIVE doesn't give a rat's ass who you are. It doesn't care where you were born or what your government is or how you were knocked down. It's an equal opportunity wealth building machine. And we all get that same chance, which is beautiful. And some people said yes, some people said no. I don't care about the ones that said no, because there's enough people out there that said yes. And the ones that said no, in most cases, are just scared to death and they'll be back. But we're in for a ride of our lifetime. There is nothing. I mean, I would want somebody to come in and compare. Come in, Mr. Zoom, and you tell me the comparison. I'd like to know. I've used them all. I don't see it. Not on this planet. And that goes for everything we do. And the reason we don't talk about money after we know, because money is a done deal. Why would I bring it up? If I know I've got the fastest car, I don't need to tell you how much horsepower I have. I'm going to win. So you move on to something else. You focus on other things. Because if you're thinking about money and unpassive, you don't know what's going on. The money will not be an object. It's going to happen whether you like it or not. Crazy sounding thing, but it's the facts. But why not make money on something you love doing? You can do whatever you want to do. You can have 50 streams of income if you want. Just got to open your mind. It's there. And if you look at unpassive like some of us do, and you go, holy cow, this is a candy store. And I got 32 sweet teeth. I'm going to rip this apart. Anyway, that's it for me.
Absolutely, absolutely. And this comes back to Mike's point about, the two U's, the civil and the maritime law, because we are ships on an ocean lost at sea, shall we say? But society has limited us or made us believe that we have limits, and this is where it's changing. So again, follow on from what Marty has said, Mike, and take us to the next level.
Yeah, we're all saying the same thing in a different way, and I want to talk about the traditional company that has been running, like Marty said, for the last 150 years. It is top down, and top down will make those people at the top very, very wealthy, but it won't do anything with the people down below. So any time it's top down, you're promoting poverty. That's just the way it is. The people in that company are not going to get rich. The people at the top will. But as you listen to Marty, and he said, unpassive went from the bottom up. Anytime you go from the bottom up and you release people, now you're promoting prosperity. And unpassive, because and we remember 5 years ago, it started out with Ash Mufareh, then 1 or 2 people, then 10, then 100, then 1,000. And Ash Mufareh always thinks about bottom up. He wants to help people succeed. He doesn't think about the money. He thinks about problems. He thinks about solutions. He thinks about giving it to the world, either for free at the lowest price he can. And when you start to do that, and you start to think about the 21st century, you start to think about digital transformation. Everybody will be online, whether you're a brick and mortar store, whatever you're making, whether it's houses, whether you're a plumber, whether you're in leather works, whatever you do, you need to have that digital transformation and be online. And if you're not, you miss the boat. Mr. Mufareh is making it possible for everybody to come in and participate on the online ecosystem, whatever you're doing. And Collins was right. When you start to talk about success and the online ecosystem and participating online, Ash Mufareh has set up something that everybody can use. You don't have to be in the business of unpassive, but the products of unpassive will take your business, whatever it is, where it is, whatever you're doing, and take it to a whole different level where you will profit more. That's what unpassive has done. And Ash Mufareh is always thinking about the individual, the person at the bottom, lifting them up. He's not thinking about Ash Mufareh becoming a trillionaire. He's thinking about what he can do for people, what he can do for humanity, how he can change humanity, how he can make life better. And that's what unpassive is all about. It's about taking the individual and expanding their horizons, changing their mindset, letting them understand there is a way forward for you. It doesn't matter, as Marty said, it doesn't matter where you're from, what background you come from, what situation you're living in right now. OnPassive can take that mindset of poverty and take it into a mindset of prosperity and abundance, because they give you the platform that will allow you to do that. You don't have to think about, is there a way to do that? OnPassive gives you the platform that allows you to live the life you want to live and get out of the doldrums that you might be in, each and every one of you. Whether you're in your own business, whether you're coming in as an affiliate, it does not matter. And eventually the powers to be are going to see this and they're going to go, no, we also have to participate with OnPassive. Governments around the world are going to come in and go, whoa, this is a system that will take our country to a whole different level and bring respect. That's a very, very important thing around the world. And when you can get that, it's just a very, very special thing. And OnPassive is doing that for individuals. You get to the place where you live the lifestyle you want to live and you have respect. And when you have respect, just a lot of different things happen. They really do. The prosperity is a side effect of what Mr. Mofar has done. And it's a really, really good one. And by the way, we are there. It's happening right now, guys. If you haven't been listening to Mr. Mofar, if you don't know what's going on, what's happening in the coming weeks, you need to listen and listen very, very hard, because it will change your life in very, very positive ways. I think that covers a lot, Andy, as far as what OnPassive is doing and where we're going. But people really need to take notice of what's happening. If you haven't come in and looked at OnPassive very, very seriously, you need to do that. And if you do, and you see the vision of Mr. Mofar, your life's going to change in major ways you never thought would happen. So go ahead, Andy.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And I think for me, I don't know about you, Divine, but for me, I love the fact Mike's kind of explained it, but I love the fact that OnPassive is going to do the bits for me that I don't know how to do. I'm truly numbers. I'm not very good at English, never was. So that leads on nicely to things like marketing. Marty is the guru at marketing. I can't do that, but he spent 20 years doing it. So what difference is this going to make to you? What do you see as OnPassive being able to do for you that you can't do? And obviously, hopefully, being able to help others that you know. You're muted, buddy.
Yeah, sorry about that, guys. I would say OnPassive will bring some sort of a massive, significant difference in what I'm doing. I'm not a marketer. I've never done marketing before. I'm not an IT person, but coming from a financial background, I know a little bit of figures. But what I want to say in this is that just the fact that all I need to do is to purchase an application and put it in my marketplace, and just keep an eye on my marketplace. If there's any extra traffic, I can purchase that and put it in my marketplace. Any application that comes in, I purchase that and put it in my marketplace. I don't need to go out there and do any marketing for whoever. I don't need to do that. Okay. If I'm trying to get somebody in as an affiliate or a reseller, I'm doing that person a favor. Because what OnPassive is doing, OnPassive has given us the platform for everyone to solve. I don't understand how people don't see this. You don't need to do anything whatsoever. Log into your back office, purchase an application as soon as it's live, purchase that, put it in your marketplace, and they do the job for you. That's all you need to do. That's all you need to do. How difficult is that? It's a platform that has given everybody an opportunity to come from grass to grace. And from there, you look further to replicate yourself and elevate others. That's literally just try to mitigate the gap between the rich and the poor. And let's fight about this poverty that we have all over the place, Africa, Asia. I mean, this is the motto of OnPassive, and the platform is there for us. And it's not rocket science. Go to your back office, purchase the application, put it in your marketplace. If it's £500, £200, you have the funds there, pay, put it in the marketplace. they do the job for you. How easy is that?
Yeah. We had a discussion with Red and Pete the other day, and the brief comparison between, having a store, an actual physical store, and having an online store, which is what Collins likes to use as the analogy, our online shop.
Yeah.
And we buy the stock once. If it's a monthly pay product, we pay for it monthly, but it doesn't matter how many times in that month we've sold it. We don't have to get more stock in like Pete does. But his stock costs are, horrendous, thousands and thousands weekly just to put things back in the shop. And one thing that did make me laugh was because you get some of the early birds turning up and saying, do you know what, the problem that I've got is that I'm never going to use that product. Well, if we go back to the Pete's convenience store, I'm sure he doesn't eat all the crisps. I know he doesn't eat chocolate, and he sure as hell doesn't smoke, but he has to stock these things for other people. That's exactly what our shop does. So now I've taken that little snippet of information away from you, Collins. I'm sure you can come up with something else.
Can I add one thing first?
Of course
I want
you
to
can.
add something. Okay. In MLM, people say, I don't like to market. I don't want to do it. I don't want to bug my friends. The main reason people don't, I'm going to say share, because a lot of people don't really market. They're sharing it with people and they hope they get in. The reason they can't share it is because they don't believe it. Okay. They're not going to come up because in their mind, they know the percentage. And that guy that walks up and talks like he's scared to death, the person reading him goes, this guy, I don't trust him. He's scared to death. The difference will be down the road. People that never, I'm going to say shared anything, is because when you're in MLM, you have something, you buy it. First thing in your mind is, oh, it's okay. You don't really fall in love with it. And if you're not in love with something, you're not going to do good with it. You're just not. So when they go to share it, their heart's not in it. And their heart comes out. Like they know the person receiving it. So they automatically say in their mind, I'm going to fail, because 98% of the people fail. Guess what? You're going to fail. So right away, they quit and they walk away. With Unpassive, I watch what happens. And that's why I said organically Unpassive is going to explode. As it's moving and people are starting to see bank accounts grow, forget the number. They're going to share because they know it works. They know it's working. And when they express it, everybody will look at them. It doesn't even matter if they're speaking proper English. They're going to go, I don't know what the freak Marty just said, but I want it. I want to know what it is. It's a big difference on delivery when you believe what you're saying. And that never happened in MLM because only 1 or 2% succeed. That's why they say fake it till you make it. Nobody can fake it. What are we, all actors? No, we're not. We're humans. And people can tell. When Unpassive comes in and people start seeing what is the reaction from it, what happens from it, you watch what happens. Grandmothers will be sharing it. People will be sharing because they know, hey, Marty, would you lose a little weight? You look a little taller. You look thinner. No, it's called Unpassive, man. It's a freaking glow. It's doing very well for me. No doubt. I'm telling you, you could see it. Listen, Tony Robbins wasn't Tony Robbins until he became Tony Robbins, right? When he first started, he faked it until he made it. He believed who he would be, and one day he became that guy. In Unpassive, you don't have to fake it. That's the beauty of it. You could come in and be John Smith, but you could be John Smith successful talking. Big difference. And I believe that's going to blow this company up. And I won't cut it. Well, I'm not going to say that. I will cut in probably, but go ahead, Colin.
Thank you, Marty.
Follow that.
Yes. So what I wanted to add in, because when Divine mentioned something, it was just like, wow, this is it again. If we look at Unpassive is the only replicatable business. No business will replicate. If you look at what Mr. Ash Mofara, have done with Unpassive, he replicate a business He owns ONPASSIVE, but I own me. They promote me, they promote Manny Digamo, promoting Mike Ellis. Mr. Ashmufara is not promoting himself. That's why I said ONPASSIVE is the only replicatable business. You know, he built the business and said, all right, how do I replicate this to those who want to become affiliate? Those who are coming into ONPASSIVE and they say, yeah, we want to get a piece of it. Mr. Ash said, no, I will not give you ONPASSIVE, but I'll take the same ONPASSIVE and put your stamp on top of it, give it to you. It's like you go to where Maddie is living, Walmart is written. Walmart is there, but it's Maddie Digamo, not Walmart. You go to where Mike Ellis is, they said, Mike Ellis, you will own the Walmart there, not Walmart, Mike Ellis. And someone will go into that shop, walk out and say, wow, the customer service, Mike Ellis' customer service was fantastic. But who is the mechanism running everything behind, pushing all the products? ONPASSIVE is doing it. And that's why Warren Buffett said, if you don't look for a way where you make money, you know, you will work until you die. Because they have given you a replicatable business, replicate everything. So you become you and you own the product. He said, own it. Ms. Ashmufara said, the world will know your name. The world will know your name is not because I come here and speak. The world will know my name because I have become an affiliate and Mr. Ashmufara replicate ONPASSIVE and give me a share of it. And now that business is Collins. It is not Ashmufara. It is not ONPASSIVE. When you wrap your head around this, honestly, it will give you sleepless night, 100%. And that's where the total financial freedom is coming. So I will leave it there, Andy.
Okay, all right, great. So we'll go one more round, and I shall. As Marty's jumped in, we're back to Mike's. He's going to have to wait again. So, Mike, take her away.
Yeah, no, it's both Collins and Marty. They really did hit on it. We talk about a business that is you can reproduce over and over and over again. And when people hear that, they might not quite understand how that works. But the reason you can do that is because of what Divine said. ONPASSIVE, we come in, we do what we need to do. We engage with ONPASSIVE. We become affiliates. And then ONPASSIVE goes to work for me. It goes to work for you. It goes to work for you. For everybody that's out there, everybody that's on the panel, ONPASSIVE is going to work for each and every one of us. And when you start to think about that, you start to think about the numbers involved, the number of people within ONPASSIVE, and you go, well, you know, I'm kind of late to the party. I'm not sure that'll work for me coming into ONPASSIVE, and Mr. Mufara actually giving me a business that can be reproduced and actually generate income online. Then you have to start to think about the products of ONPASSIVE, as Marty talked about. OConnect, it is not great. It is 10 times better than great. That's why people can't compete against ONPASSIVE. And he has another product coming out that's going to be better than OConnect, the OConnect that we have today. And when you start to think about that, you start to think about markets. And every market that ONPASSIVE is in, pretty much every market that I've seen that we're in, they are multi-billion-dollar markets. A few of the markets are $100 billion markets. And you start to think about the amount of market share that ONPASSIVE is going to take as Marty says, it goes viral. One product, OConnect, probably will take very, very quickly 30, 40, 50% of the market. I think over time, it'll take 90% of the market. There are always those people out there that are stubborn and won't move. That's okay. We're going to take the majority of the market. And then you start to add 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 different markets like that. And all of a sudden you start to see the amount of volume that's going to be coming into ONPASSIVE. That means money, guys, apples, and how they're going to distribute that among those individuals that are participating with ONPASSIVE, the affiliates. Again, you are not doing this. ONPASSIVE is doing this for us. And all of a sudden, these customers start landing in your organization. You get paid to commission. One product, now it's 2, now it's 3, now it's 4, now it's 5. Start doing the math, start multiplying, understanding that you could start out with a very, very small amount in a very, very short period of time. That amount could put you into the middle class, upper middle class, to the very, very wealthy. So on passive, it really is ingenious what Ash has done, and he's done it for us. He's done it for you and I. He's not interested in what he's going to end up with. And I can tell you he's going to do fine. And we want him to do fine, because if he's doing fine, all of us are doing fine. Not only do we want him to do fine, but he deserves it because of what he's done and the vision he's brought to the table. And once you start to see the vision, once you start to understand the vision, once you start to understand what Colin has said, what Divine has said, what Marty has said, Andy, we're not so sure about. But once you start to understand everybody, Andy too, guys, once you start to understand that, you can start to understand how your life will change. And in the end, I always say this, in the end, that's what we're all about. We're here to change lives. And I can tell you the most rewarding thing that you'll ever find in your journey with ONPASSIVE, with the business of ONPASSIVE, is actually finding that one individual that you brought along and you changed their lives. It wasn't ONPASSIVE, because without you, they would have never gotten into ONPASSIVE. But you changed that life, and when you see that life just blossom, you're going to find that that's more rewarding than anything, and I mean anything, you're going to get within ONPASSIVE. When you talk about the apples, when you talk about the lifestyle, when you talk about, being able to change on a dime, being able to go in this direction, that direction, that one individual, that one life that you change, because it not only changed their life, it changes their family, their community. It is a domino effect. It changes so many things. But when you can change that one life, that's a special thing, and it's something you'll never, ever, ever forget. That is ONPASSIVE. Andy, Divine, Collins, Marty, Divine, take it from there.
I like the last Mike, brother Mike. You just said something which I think is very, very important. The domino effect of ONPASSIVE out there, and I think that's gonna pour like a rain. That's what's gonna happen. The domino effect of ONPASSIVE, because as we can see, literally, just for the period of time that we're here, I would say the last 6 months or 7 months, from September to now, we can feel the rumble, we can feel the heat. We can feel everything. Let's think about this. When ONPASSIVE goes out there, what's going to happen? It will be an eruption. I keep saying this. I don't know how to describe Mr. Ash Mufareh. His thinking, his thought, his concept, his mindset, his vision is. If I say he's a genius, it's an understatement. I think the dictionary needs to look for another vocabulary to describe that, Mr. Ash Mufareh, because I don't know how he came with this concept. I don't know. It's not human. It's crazy. It's crazy. It is.
Believe me, there is a God in that, Divine, and Ash will admit that.
Yes, and I keep saying this. We are not only lucky to be found that we have been. Which word would I use? We are more than lucky to be where we are at the moment. We've been endowed, bestowed by God to be in this position at the moment, to go with this journey with Ash Mufareh. And there's nothing else I can speak at the moment, because the platform is there for everyone. Equal opportunities for us, anyone to come there, and you will make it.
Thanks, Divine. I think that's brilliant. I'm with everybody else. I'm a true believer in everything happens for a reason, and all of us are here because we saw something, but we were given the opportunity, and somebody has changed our lives. So we need now to change theirs. So, Collins, what are your thoughts, mate?
Oh my God. The only thing I can say is people need to take a look. Stop looking at the negative, go on and look at the negative part, because most of the time, people always want to see the negatives before the positive. And when you start to look at negative, say you go out there, start to look at negative, you come back home, you come with negativity, and your whole day is ruined. And the good things, the truth is, anything glitter are not gold. Gold, even when you go to the soil, you dig it, It's not brilliant until you polish it. Even diamond, you have to polish it, take time, go to the lab to make it a shiny object. Unpassive is like that. If you don't take a closer look, you will miss it. If you go out and you look for the negative part, what will happen? You will regret. And most of the time, when you look at those who look at negative and negative and negative, go back and take a closer look at them. They are always full with negativity. Most of the time, I always like to look at positive. When I join Unpassive, what is in my mind is the positive side. I just think about positivity. I know this will be good. I never read at any negative thing. I don't go into any negative platform. Founders affiliate should stop going to those platforms because it kills you, it destroys you as a person. It doesn't give you rational thinking. You allow yourself to be manipulated, your brain, especially those who are weak. But most of the time, you need to, come out of that part and look at the positive side of anything, because the positives are not lot. Miss Ash Mufarat, when I joined Unpassive, I've never heard Miss Ash Mufarat say, come in, you will make so much. He said, I will provide value. And those who always make it in life, change mankind, they never speak on a mountaintop with a loud voice. They always tell you something gentle and subtle until you see beyond. Then you know what this man is talking about. And those who've seen beyond from the day they joined Unpassive, when there was nothing, Mari Digamo, they are here, Mike Ellis, they will tell you a lot what they have seen. Why are they here? Sometimes ask yourself, why will Martin Digamo waste all his 5 years staying here? Why will Mike Ellis waste all the 5 years? Andy, Peter Rogers, you can go on and on. They are not stupid. It's because they have seen something beyond. And that is how we have to operate. See something beyond our imagination. And that's the only way you can succeed. Because when you fail, it is not because you failed. Said failure is not an option. But the day you refuse to try, that is the day you fail. When you keep on trying, you've not failed. But the day you stop trying, that is the day you fail. So I will leave it there, Andy.
Thanks, Collins. So, Marty, finish us off, my friend. What else have you got to add?
Oh, you're going to let me go again, huh? Yeah, one thing I wanted to say, and I said it on all the shows, and this is very important for people, even outside of Unpassive. Google is a search engine. It is not a truth engine. When you go somewhere and you look it up, if it's valued high, even if it's negative, it will be highly ranked. It's always that way, and it's sad, but that's just the way it is. So that's one thing. Another thing I wanted to tell you, Ash Mufareh, 20 years before he ever created or started to create Unpassive, he was super, super successful, multimillionaire. He was what they call a super affiliate. Wound up being a CEO of one of the companies. What that means is one of them has a record on how fast he built the system. He would walk in, try to pick the best company because he wasn't in control of that, and max out whatever it had. Just max it out. Went to school for it. He understands it, and everybody knows how smart he is. No doubt about it. I want you to wrap your head around this. Unpassive left that world. I mean, Mr. Mufareh left that world. And if he was to build a program for himself personally and went out and ran that program, he could be one of the richest men in the world. Well, guess what he did? He built that program. And he built the foundation even bigger so that all of us can go out there and win. He built a program that he would have built for himself and scaled it to the limits of hundreds of millions of people can join, maybe even 1 billion. That's what he did. That's why when you see the Burj Khalifa and you see the train station, why are we in Egypt and why are we all over Africa? Why are we expanding everywhere? Because the scale he had for personal use isn't big enough. But if he was to build one personally for himself, you're looking at it. You're in it. It's called Unpassive. So remember that. The only difference is he's doing all the work. We benefit from what comes from it. We get all the apples and the cherries and the fruit that comes off the tree. We don't have to plant the tree. We don't have to take care of the tree. It's going to happen. So keep that in mind. He geared this to what exactly what company he would want personally, and then scaled it up for all of us because that's who he is. Anyway, that's all I have.
Thank you. Thank you, Marty. And thank you guys for joining us. And thanks to all the people on today. I'm sure many more will watch on the recording. But thanks everyone for joining us. And we'll see you again next Tuesday. Cheers, guys.
Thank
See you
you.
later.
Cheers. Cheers, guys.
Very good.